She's back. Third eye. Sorry, guys. I had to get off there. I had an important phone call. Follow up to my important meeting today. Tired and excited. I asked everybody, do you ever be tired and excited in the same day? That's how I feel today. I feel just kind of tired. I feel really excited. It's the third eye. Today's the energy's in the third eye. How's your third eye feeling? How's your head feeling? How's your energy feeling? I'm Sarah Richardson. I'm a cheerleader for the divine. I'm an energy worker. I'm a licensed massage therapist. And I am the best deliberate creator alive. Nice to meet you. Cheers to all my deliberate creators. I'm working on a bunch of fun stuff. Workshops, seminars, retreats. I'm working it, fam. I'm working it. I hear you guys. I'm talking. I hear you guys. I hear you. So, naturally, guys, I'm a hustler, right? I was born that way. I was raised that way. All that stuff. But right now, lately, in these past 5 years or so, I've been really working hard trying to slow down. Slow down, right? Trying to slow down, trying to create multiple streams of income while slowing down, right? Work less, make more. I love every moment of it, right? That's what we're trying to do. We're creating our lives. So what does it mean when I say I'm the best deliberate creator alive? Do I think I'm better than you? No. I'm not even thinking about any of that. I'm not thinking about the other person or anything like that. I'm just thinking about me and my life and my creations and what I want to create in my life, right? And I just come into these videos to share this crazy shit with you. So today I got my orange calcite. Just got this little bad boy. Love it. Let me tell you what it's all about. So I like to go to the rock shop, and I go into the rock shop and I like to feel for what I need, right? And so this was definitely the one I needed, right? Orange calcite is a highly energizing and cleansing stone. It balances the emotions, removes fear, and overcomes depression. It's a good one. It's a good one. Go to the rock shop, feel around. People ask me all the time, how can I order online, stones online? I don't think I would ever order stones online. But if you ever want to order online, Anna May, she has great stones online, so go to her. So energy, frequency, vibration, right? We're all energy, frequency, vibration. Everything we've been through is energy, frequency, vibration. Everything we're creating is energy, frequency, vibration. And right now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to release old things, right? That's what I do. I do release work. I work on the nervous system. This is what I do. This is what I involve myself with. So a lot of people say, how can I do it? Get body work, right? But if you can't get body work, then what do? Shake it out. Shake it out, roll it out, all the stuff in your neck is trying to come out of your arms. All the stuff in your back is trying to come out through your legs. Shake different parts of your body. Roll, they tell you don't crack your bones. I say the opposite. Cracking your bones is release. Coughing is release. Crying is release. Laughing is release. Farting is release. Throwing up is release. Sweating is release. Screaming is release. Sweating, I already said sweating, right? Roll your hips, wake up in the morning and give your hips a little roll, right? If you're feeling stuck in your body, stretch your body somehow. Go for a walk, do some breath work, dance, roller skate, sing, exercise, whatever you do it, right? If you're just being still all the time, just do anything you can to let some energy release. Sometimes when I have a lot of energy to release, I have to go be crazy and run the steps or something. Sometimes I just sit here and cry it out. We're releasing dense old energy. That's what's going on. So with the vibration of the planet lifting, it's revealing a lot of the dense energy that is still in us, right? Even for those of us who've been doing this for quite some time, it's still being revealed, right? So as some of you know, um, things are coming up and things are being revealed to you right now, right? And so what happens a lot of times is it feels like a really personal threat or something, right? Oh, hold on 1 second. Sorry. But it's not a personal attack. It's not a personal attack. This energy, this that's being exposed, it's always been in you. It's always been in me. It's always been in you. That's how I know it's always been in you. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to release the doo-doo so we can rise up and be the best version of ourselves, right? And so what comes with that? There's a lot of stuff that comes with that. There's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of twists. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of uncertainty. But it's definitely for sure that we have a lot of dense energy in us that we need to get out to live the lives that we have in our hearts, that we can envision in our hearts, right? And so today is the third eye. You know, on YouTube, there are a lot of 852 hertz in the Solfego frequencies. I like the 741 hertz. But the third eye is in a direct relationship with the sacral chakra, the womb chakra, right? That's the 417. 432 is like the absolute neutral tone. So, you know, it's like womb and visions. It's like your fears and your joys. It's like a balancing out of those two places. That's what happens on Wednesday and Thursday, right? Because on Wednesday all the time, the energy's in the third eye. On Thursday all the time, the energy's in the sacral chakra. And so you're always going to find on Wednesday and Thursday that there's a really big energy of trying to balance those two out. It's funny because most people don't realize that until I start to talk about it. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. You know, and so your womb space is a feminine space, right? So your third eye space is a very masculine space. And so what that is that the relationship inside of you, you need to learn how to let both of those energy centers trust each other, right? Just like an outside relationship, just like whenever you're getting into a relationship outside, how does that dynamic work with the man and the woman getting to know one another and trust each other? And then what comes up in that relationship? And then how do you work that out? That's what we're doing within ourselves, right? So right now it's the new moon in Aries, right? I have been talking to people for like maybe the last 5 days that have been saying that their manifestations are coming in super duper fast. I see it too. So what happens whenever that happens? A lot of times our subconscious mind, I say that we're creating our experience whether we know or not, right? So a lot of times what happens is we don't even realize that we're creating our experience. We think something, it happens. We're like, oh my gosh, holy shit, right? Well, that's how creativity works. That's how creation works. That's how it all works, right? But when it's coming from your subconscious mind, it's kind of like in an autopilot thing where you don't feel like you really have any kind of say-so in the creation of your life, which couldn't be further from the truth. You are the co-creator of your experience. Right now, this new moon is bringing a lot of imagination superpowers out, right? I've been talking to a lot of people that have been getting a lot of really cool visualizations that maybe they haven't ever been able to before. You know, when I first started meditating, it wasn't very visual to me. It was colorful. It was different. You know, I didn't think I was ever doing it right. There's no right way or wrong way. But this new moon, new cycles are started. They've already started. Even though you might still have some old things you need to clear up, new cycles are starting. Spring, equinox, right? And what that's doing is bringing in love to your life. It's reminding you of what you love. Have you been through something hard recently, maybe in the past couple weeks, that really brought a firm reminder of what you love? That's what this energy is bringing in. New passionate relationships. This doesn't have to be intimate relationships. This could be friendships. This could be business partnerships, right? That was what my meeting was just about. A new partnership that I created. that's exciting, right? I'm tired. I'm tired because of the work I've been doing the past few months, but this new partnership that I created, it excites me. It makes me feel good because that's the journey, right? I was talking to one of my girlfriends the other night. I love her. And we were just talking about the journey and, why things happen the way they do and, just kicking the shit. And she was like, Sarah, I really believe that it's more about who we connect with, like, along the way. And that really stuck to me, right? And I've been thinking about it for like 2 days, and she really is onto something, right? So it's like the journey sometimes is really easy. Sometimes the journey gets really hard, right? But what makes the moments worth it? The people that you're connected to, right? The partnerships that you're making, the friendships that you have, the people that you're around, right? In the now moments. I know a lot of people who are empathic that say they can't be around a lot of people. And I totally feel that, you know what I mean? Because I'm not like a concert person or like a biggie, like people everywhere person. I don't like bars and, all that stuff. However, I do know after working for myself for 8 years, the importance of not being alone all the time, of really like connecting with other people, of really like, those are the moments where just time, goes away and you just get to enjoy your now moments. So I know a lot of people are facing a lot of challenges right now. You tell me about it. I see you going through it. I send a lot of love. But what I think is really happening is I think it's a really big level up, right? No matter how much you've leveled up already in the past, I truly, truly do believe that right now is a big time of leveling up for people. So whatever level you are at, if you're experiencing challenges, it's because the universe is pushing you to level up from where that was, right? And that's what we're here for. We're here to expand and change and grow. But people get in this thing of like, oh my gosh, like I want the same job for 55 years. I want the same ride to work. I want the same friend to have coffee with. And they don't open the circle up a little bit and let the blessings and the miracles and things come into their lives. So just something to think about. Right now, I think bad karma is really being balanced out. A lot of people that I'm talking to, a lot of people that do healing work, big healing work all over the place have really been going through it. And as we sit down and we discuss this with one another, it's a lot of the bad karma, a lot of the old, dense karma. The old, dense karma kept us stuck in these patterns that weren't true to our hearts, right? And so then what happens? If you're stuck in a pattern that's not true to your heart, you're not really going to live a life that's true to your heart. So, one of my things is I want to be a millionaire, right? So I met a lot of millionaires that aren't very happy. Like they have everything you could ever want or need, right? But there's something missing. And what is that that's missing? Do you know? Hey, Ma. They're not living their heart's desires. They're living for the money. They're living to take care of this person or that person or whatever. They're surrounded by shiesty people. They don't really trust anyone. They don't really have any true connections. A lot of them say, if it wasn't for my money, I wouldn't have anybody, right? So I just think that right now, a lot of the bad karma is balancing out for us. So if you're in a challenging time and it seems like some old stuff that maybe 10 years ago you were going through, I just think it's really normal. Take a deep breath, ask how to get through it, believe and trust that everything is balancing out right now. Because by us keep releasing this dense energy, that's bringing balance to the little karmic justice for us, right? So just continue to keep detaching. Detach. Release expectations of people, places, and things, right? And this is one of the hard parts, because a lot of us will be in this thing and we'll expect this to be going this way, and then it doesn't go this way, and then we get thrown off track, and then we don't know what to do. just work really hard on detachment and releasing expectations. And allow the universe to surprise you with good news. This is my favorite part, right? So when I wake up and I write in my journal all the time at the end, I'm like, thank you for the unexpected. Thank you for the unexpected blessings. Thank you for the unexpected people. Thank you for the unexpected surprises. Thank you for the unexpected meetups, partnerships, right? This is what's great. Like, what happened to me was so great because I was sitting in here by myself manifesting partnerships, right? I worked by myself for 8 years. I just want to be around people, right? And out of the blue, this person called me to come here, and then we went there at this time, and then I met this person, and it was like the whole entire universe conspired together for me and this person to meet and create this partnership at this very time. We weren't dressed up. We weren't ready to meet each other, all this stuff, but it just like flowed in together. But that's because I spend so much time talking to the universe, talking to God, talking to the divine about my surprises, about the good news that's coming into my life, about how thankful I am to feel that coming, about how much I work to clean up my life so I have room to receive the new when it comes in, right? So it's funny, I have a lot of work going on and I didn't really clean up that work. And so today when I met this girl, I'm like, I really got to clean up some of this over here to be able to open this up over here. She's like, I get it. Good things are coming. Oh, I got a new bell. I forgot to tell you guys. Good things are coming. I truly do believe that. I got this new bell, so whenever I feel weird energy, I'm just going to do this, and people have been weird lately. But good things are coming. Say that. Say that to yourself. Type it in the comments. Write it down on a Post-it note. Put it in your mirror. Good things are coming. Thank you for the good things that are coming. Please help me make room for the good things that are coming. Please help me stay excited for the good things that are coming, right? There's a big clearing going on. There's a big clearing on the earth, and I know people have been seeing it for years, right? There's a physical cleaning, the earth is being cleaned up right now. Clearing, detachment of the doo-doo, physical, mental, and spiritual, right? And that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work that's going on at the same time, and it's energy work, so you can't see it. So people are exhausted. People are tired in ways that they've never felt before. And that's why I say, love yourself. Rest when you feel like you need to rest, right? Take a break when you need to feel like you take a break. And sometimes you don't know when it comes up. Like yesterday, I had to cancel an appointment because I was tired. I worked my head off. I didn't know that it was going to end up affecting me like that. You never know when you're a massage therapist and touching certain people. You never know what someone's really, truly going through, right? And so as a massage therapist, touching people, I take all that on to me, right? So I never know. But what I do know is when I feel it, I have to honor it, right? So I was fighting myself the other day. I'm getting all the stuff ready. I'm getting ready to run out the door. And literally 5 minutes before I ran out the door, I'm like, can I please reschedule? Because I just don't feel strong right now. And that's what's coming up for a lot of people is just getting real about what they can or can't do anymore, right? A lot of us, I know me, I told you guys I was a hustler. I used to just push through those times, right? And then what happens? You just totally break. And I don't want to have, 3 months off because I didn't just take one day, right? A lot of women lately have been telling me, sorry if there's fellas on here, that their cycles have been tuning into the new moon. And if that is happening to you, my advice to you is just to tune into you a little bit more and see what that's trying to tell you. To me, it's trying to take you deeper into yourself. So enjoy the ride, right? We're clearing big things, guys. We're detaching from big things. We're clearing old patterns, right? We're clearing old patterns that were huge things in like family life, right? And it's okay. Clearing big things is huge. Detaching from old things is huge. And it's okay to need help. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. But you want to be in your intuition about the help that you're getting, right? Because there are a lot of fake spiritualists out here that are telling you, you know, pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me. This is the only way it works. So a lot of people are feeling like they can't even trust in the spiritual community. If you're feeling like that, go back into your heart and ask your heart to guide you or send you somewhere, you know, show you or something like that. Because it's really normal to need help, right? But what it is that we're coming from these old programs of like, oh no, I'm strong enough. Oh, I don't need that. I don't want that. That tough guy shit, right? So that's what we're coming. We're coming from like the tough guy, and we're coming into like the, you know, actual like connected with their self, right? So clearing and releasing is releasing the old vibrational patterns inside of you, the old beliefs and the old ways of you, right? So it sounds easy, clearing and releasing, right? All that sounds easy. But it's not, because it's happening from a cellular level. It's happening in your daily routine. It's happening in your mental. It's happening in your life. It's coming in around you and your friends and stuff to test you, right? And, you know, we're detaching from them, like literally, right? But you can't just like rip it off you and like put it over here. You have to detach from it like from a cellular level. So how do you detach at a cellular level? You have to nurture it. You have to nurture the pattern. You have to nurture the old belief system in the old way. And in that nurturing, you find out like, oh, I get it why they did this. Oh, I get it why they believe like this, right? I get it why their way was like this. But we're going to do it this way. And it doesn't have to be, you know, a form of disrespect. Like a lot of people say, well, I can't do that to my family because that's disrespectful. I've changed a lot of my beliefs and my patterns and my ways. And I respect my family now more than I ever did before I started doing this work. And so do I understand what you mean? Yeah, I do understand what you mean. However, it's not like some rude thing that you do. You know, heart-centered, heart-based life, living what you love and doing what you love. If I don't do what someone else does, I don't even find a need to have to say that to them. Like, you know, I'm like, oh, that's cute. Like, oh, yeah. You know, and then I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, to my own self, right? But one of the things that you need to do for yourself is you need to nurture yourself. You need to create new beliefs for yourself, new routines for yourself, right? So there's this big thing going on online right now about you can't heal at the place that hurt you or whatever. And to each their own. But I came right home to where I live to heal. And I think that's how you know that it's like really working, right? Because like when you leave where you got hurt and you're in your safe zone, you're like, oh yeah, I'm healed. But then when you come back in, if you can't control yourself in the place that hurt you, you didn't really heal anything. You just ran from it, right? So my thing is, no matter where you are, what do you love? Like what do you love? Because so a lot of things in these patterns, these old vibrational patterns, they're hate, they're fear, they're gossipy, they're talk about you, they're, you know, envious, they're jealous, they're all of these things, right? So you can get caught up in all that, or you can be like, hold on a minute, that's not in my lane, here's my lane, what do I love? Because it might be something simple, you know, like holidays. I've changed my holidays a lot because what do I love? I love to sleep in. I love to take it easy. I love to eat good food with people I love, right? So instead of telling my family, oh, I'm not going to do this or that or whatever, however you do, I'll say, hey, can I bring this because I want to add this in. I want to add what I do into this all. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I mean, I have like specific for instances, but I don't even feel like talking about it. What do you want with your whole heart? What do you want with your whole heart? What does your heart want? I wouldn't say it on here if I were you. People are fucking weird. You can message me in private, right? I've learned to keep a little bit more private. But all that really matters is what you want with your whole heart and what you're willing to do, how determined you are to get there, right? How does it go from inspiration to real? That's what a lot of people have been asking me lately, right? So, you know, they'll say, well, how do you know it's God? I'm like, I don't know. You just get like this divine inspiration, right? And how does it go from inspiration to real? The moment that you make it real. You know, for a lot of years, Always Think Up was just something that I wrote in my journal. 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 And now it's a Facebook page. And now it's my hashtag. And now it's like, kind of explains to people like the way that I think, right? And alignment is how you make that real. And what does that mean? You know, when you have a vision, when you have a divine inspiration in your heart, bringing it all the way down to the root, clearing out the unnecessaries, detaching from what no longer serves you to ground what you love in and nurture that and grow it, right? But if you are still, if you're trying to do that, but you're still worried about the outside influences, your seeds probably aren't gonna live. You know, I've been revisiting my old wishes lately. So if that has been coming up for you, bless it, right? I love it. It's been pumping me up. I've been like kind of peeping the evolution of my seeds, right? So I have a program, I don't know if you guys know, and in the program I make people write out their wishes, right? And there's a certain way that we do it so they can really tap down into their hearts. And that's because that's the way that I write out my heart's wishes. They can change it however they want to. But holy shit, man, I get myself excited out here. So last night, my baby goes to bed and I was vibing off this moon. And so I bring out my old wishes and I really got myself re-excited again for all the things that I have written down on there. And like, I don't know, maybe like the past like 9 or 10 months, like I kind of fell off from all of that, right? But I really got myself back excited for all the things that my heart wants. And some of them I already did. And then some of them are still like a work in progress. And so even though I thought that I left it alone for 10 months, you don't leave your heart's desires alone, right? You just get busy, focus on something else, and that's okay. Because that's really a big part of detachment. So like the universe was helping me detach, even though I didn't even know. Finances are coming up for a lot of people. Me too, fam. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about finances, talk about the global crash, right? I don't watch the news, so I don't even know how they word it. Hold on a second. I do know that financial matters are coming up really big for a lot of people, and I send a lot of love. My lifetime wish is to be a billionaire. For sure. A bazillionaire. It excites the hell out of me. But it didn't always excite me. I used to hate people with money. I used to hate how mean they were. I used to hate how they treated people. I used to hate how they, you know, acted in restaurants or, you know, whatever. So I had to go through a lot of healing to actually get that onto my wish list, right? I have no idea how I'm going to get there, right? I just know that I'm going to get there and I give big thanks for it. Hello, love. How you feeling? I was just saying that my lifetime wish is to be a fucking bazillionaire and you came on. Um, you know, I know one thing is I want to change the game of what millionaire means out here, right? I want to do it my way. I don't want to do it anyone else's way. I want to do it my way. I've seen a lot of wealthy people with a lot of shitty friends. That's been a big thing for me. You know, like the friends they only want to be around when they need something. Intermittent fast. Yeah, girl. I just started my juices the other day. Got on that urinary tract. You know what I mean? Feeling good. My friend Tony helped me. He helped me and it really has been working. Yes. He said like citrusy stuff in the morning. So I do like pineapple, lemon, oranges. And plus I've been throwing in this urinary tract stuff. And then he said melons in the afternoon and berries in the evening. And so me and True started it yesterday and we're doing it today. And I feel incredible. And you know me, I like it simple, shorty. I like it simple as I could get it. Yeah, but I really am. I really am going to be a fucking bazillionaire, right? My way. I want quality people around me though, right? So a lot of my process of getting to this place is number one, you know, knowing what to do when I'm busy, right? How to manage busy and peaceful at the same time. Yep, I got more protein powder, a bunch of fish, and mixed salad and stuff. Yep, preparation is key, ain't it, sis? I know. It's when you're prepped, when you're ready to go, I'm like, yeah, buddy. You know, those intermittent fasts are really wonderful. I love fasting. Especially if my energy is ever like really low, I love to fast to kind of like bring myself back to life a little bit. Helps you get unstuck if you feel stuck. So I want to be a millionaire that has great-hearted friends, right? I want to be a millionaire that my friends are quality people, right? People like me doing that, right? I had to learn, I'm still learning how to deal with multiple streams of income, right? Plus a fun life, plus work-life balance, plus, you know, being present in the now moment for whenever I need to be present in the now moment, right? You know, there's a lot, you know, it takes a lot for us to get to our wishes, right? So I think when I first made this wish was maybe like 9 years ago. And through all of that, I've learned so much. I've learned so many places where my patterning and my belief systems were kind of like holding me away from my heart's desire, right? And the more that I learn about that, the more that opens up, the more it opens up on the other end. I'm learning, guys. You know, I'm learning that our companionships mean everything along the way. You know, my friends, you guys all, you mean everything to me. Our conversations, they mean everything to me. The moments that we have together, that's what means everything, right? And, you know, people have gotten to this place. What's the thing that they say? You know, like, people use people and idolize stuff, you know? And it's just like, that's kind of where we are. And that now we're coming back into like an old way that's never really been here. So it's like a new way, right? So, if you're having financial things go on in your life and that's a big thing for you, say an affirmation. Money comes to me as love encourages continued growth, right? So that's what I keep thinking. Like, as I get better at being a friend, as I get better at relaxing, as I get better at having fun, more money comes to me. And it's crazy because, you know, I wanted to be a better friend. I wanted to relax better. I wanted to, you know, calm down a little bit more, right? So those are the things I wanted. Maybe your things might be way different, and that's okay. But as I do learn these things, it is really opening up everything for me. I love money and money loves me. Hell yes. You know, a lot of people, especially in the spiritual community, there's a lot of money blocks. There's a lot of money blocks. There's a lot of mental slavery, mental poverty, right? The poverty, the fear of ending up maybe in the same position that you were when you were growing up, of ending up worse, or, you know, whatever that is for you. It's all very different, but the core of it is poverty consciousness. The core of it is fear, lack, right? And what we're trying to get to in releasing these dense energies is abundance. And so those are two totally polar opposites. And so that's why a lot of this work sometimes can feel so hard, right? Material prosperity, living in abundance. Who in your ancestry had that? Or didn't? Check in on your vibrational pattern in that place. You know, people in my family had money and they were nasty. And then some people in my family didn't have money and they worked really hard. And so, like, you know, I got a little bit of that both. Like, I want to make money and be nice, and I don't want to be over the top, and I don't want to struggle, you know. So that's personal to everybody. But try to figure out that in your roots. Try to figure out the money piece, the finances piece, the fears piece on the flow of money, right? Find that in your roots, because that's a lot of this denseness, I think, that's coming up right now. You know, a lot of people are talking about people who sell their souls, you know, and it's like somebody said, well, why do people sell their souls? You know, I don't really know. I've never really saw like a soul selling. But I would imagine it's from fear, you know, fear, lack, right? Money flows to me with ease. Ooh, that's a good one. I love money. Money loves me, right? It's okay to want to have money. It's okay to want good things. It's okay to want material prosperity. You know, we're clearing that low shit, that poverty, that lack, that disease, right? So that's one of the reasons why I love the 528. That's one of the reasons why I love Metatron. That's one of the reasons why I love manifesting abundance, right? Because manifesting abundance, if you're coming from poverty, mind frame, fear, lack, right? Disease, manifesting abundance might just be what you came here to do, right? And a lot of people that come from that place are like, oh no, I don't want to stand out. I don't want to be a big deal. I don't want, you know, whatever. Check and see if that's your heart's desires or that's your old programming. Because resistance indicates fear of losing what you have, right? So when you check in with yourself and your habits, right? How do you spend money? How do you save money? We're clearing that out to make room for the new. We're clearing the old patterns of how our lineage has done things so we can do them in a new way. There definitely is financial and material gain when you're healing. Has anyone else seen that? You know, in my healing, I've had a lot of financial and material gain. Now, I'm kind of like disattached from it. I could care less about it, right? But I'm thankful for it. That's not what I do it for. But that does happen in the process of healing myself, right? Because as you're healing all of these old patterns in you, you're opening yourself up for new ways to work, new ways to live, new ways to be, right? It's funny, when I talk to my mom and dad about my work and stuff, they just kind of like shake their heads and rub their foreheads like, I never even knew that existed, Sarah, but okay, right? It's different. What do you do with the financial gain that comes in your life? Like, do you know how to handle that? You know, because that's a part of it. If you're out here and your heart's desire is asking for money, you need to learn how to handle that, right? They said in the barbershop one time, there was a show about people that win the lottery and how they end up like dying or whatever, being broke and stuff because they didn't know how to handle the money that they got, right? That always sticks with me when I'm on this journey, because I am going to be a fucking bazillionaire. We are all healing deep hurts, guys. But we can all celebrate the golden opportunities that life brings us through the deep hurts, right? So it's not like when you're hurting, it's not like there's nothing good going on, right? It's like what we choose to think about. So I've seen a lot, especially through this last year, that there have been times where I've been hurting really, really deep, but yet really beautiful things were like working out over here for me, right? And so I had the choice. Do I want to think about this that hurts me, or do I want to think about this that I love? And sometimes, you know, I didn't pick good. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. It's okay. It starts off small, though, you know. Start with a small thing. I remember my small thing was my niece's little drooly face. She didn't even have any teeth. And that was the that was the vision that I would look at whenever I'd be like frustrated or find myself thinking bad things or whatever. I would think about my niece and her little smile, and that would just kind of like change my whole vibration, my internal frequency, because that's what it is, right? So you can sit there and think about what you hate for 17 seconds, and then that ball will just roll down the hill, right? Or you could be like, oh, hold on, I'm thinking about everything I hate. What do I love? You can think about what you love for 33 seconds, right? So you pick which way you want to go. So, you know, third eye and the womb space are directly connected, right? And a lot of people think that only women have this womb space, but men have this womb space too. I was just listening to this really great podcast on my way to my meeting today, and it was saying how a lot of men are in a space right now where they're, you know, getting ready to birth something new. And somebody came into the podcast and said, you know, oh, like, from what? How are men doing this? Like, because men have a sacral chakra too. The womb space isn't just for women. The womb space isn't just all about sex. A lot of what's going on in our womb space has a lot to do with like our childlike self, how much we let ourselves play. Like Crystal said, money flows free to me with ease. You know, I bet you if you check in with your money, some of you, you don't really feel like that about money, right? And we need to get into that like childlike self to really get it to start coming like that to us. And it's not anything that anybody outside of us is going to do. We have to do the work in ourselves, in our alignment, in releasing our doo-doo, in detaching and clearing and doing all that stuff, right? So try to remember what brings you joy, what helps you to play. Take time, make time to play, shake it out. You know, I love to be with the kids because that's what brings me joy, and that's what reminds me to play. That's who reminds me to play. Be alive. What does that mean to you when I say be alive? You know, a lot of people to me seem like they're just kind of going through the movements of life. I don't want to just go through the movements. I don't want to just, you know, I want to be involved in creating my life. Be alive. How do you be alive? When you wake up in the morning, how do you liven up your house? Whenever you're, I don't know, at work, how do you liven up on the way to go to work? How do you liven up in the middle of the day? Do you give yourself time to dance and laugh? I know for a lot of years I didn't do that. And, you know, having my daughter is what's really been teaching me that. Allow life to expand and fulfill you. You know, a lot of these old programs, they want you to stay the same. They want you just to stay the same and just be fine with that, right? And what happens is this energy that's rising and exposing these things that we really don't like, we're seeing that we really want to expand, but we don't know how. We really want to be fulfilled with life, but we don't know what that means. We don't know how to do that. Take some time in the sun, guys. If you don't have any sun around here like me, you know, I like to just close my eyes and I picture gold pouring down on my body warm gold, and goes all the way in and all the way to all my cells and all my organs, right? Spend some time with the sun. Make a wish. Make a few wishes. Feel them with your heart, though, right? These aren't just like, oh, I wish my electric bill would be paid. I mean, maybe that is what you want, right? But these are like heart's desires, right? What do you really, really want for your life? I mean, if you want to start out with your electric bill, you can, I guess, right? Me and Rachel are doing these experiments with energy, and it's like reminding me what it's like to like start off, right? I'm excited just like it was my first time, but maybe you do want to watch that and start with little things like what we're doing on there, or you want to go big. But what you want to do is when you're making wishes and when you're feeling them with your whole heart, you want to ground them in, right? You want to nurture that vibration of you, right? So it's kind of like you want to protect that like it's already here, right? You want to keep that in a safe place. I am a natural overthinker. Give me some hearts if you can relate. But one of the things that I have truly learned about being an overthinker is, first of all, it's my superpower. Second of all, when you ground that thought in, when you can take that thought into your heart and be like, okay, is this beneficial for me? Yes. And then ground that in and create that actually into your life. That really is the process of deliberately creating your life from your heart's desire, right? And it's weird and it's wonky. And I wish it was just like, oh, you love it, boop, plant the seed, water it a little bit. No, it's a little bit different than that, right? What do you think self-love is? How do you actually do that? Love you. What is self-love and how do you love yourself? What do you do to love yourself? What do you do that excites you? What do you do that inspires you? What do you do that pumps you up? The whole self-love, selfish thing that's been coming up again lately, and somebody did a really cool video about this very topic. So like a lot of people will say, oh, you're so selfish. No, definitely not at all. But I do have boundaries, right? For me, a lot of self-love has been creating boundaries where I didn't have them before. Becoming aware of the things that keep replaying in my life that I don't want there. So I can become aware of them and ask, how do I fix this? How do I change this, right? Self-love is checking in on me and making sure I'm okay. And then if I'm not okay, trying to learn how to navigate through that, right? So like right now I have a job that's completely kind of thrown off my work-life balance, right? And so I'm dedicated to this job because I really love it. I'm dedicated to the girls because I want them to have their massage licenses, right? But also at the same time, like I'm dedicated to my daughter. I'm dedicated to my family. I'm dedicated to that too. What do you do in a place like that, right? So what I've been trying to do is make up for it on the days where I'm not there, home-wise. And, it's just been crazy. And just last night I had to talk to my daughter and tell her, we just got about like 3.5 more months of this, And I had to explain to her, like, I hate being away from you for so much. But, like, I really, at the same time, I really love this job that I do. And I really come to life whenever I'm in there. And then I only get sad when you text message me and tell me how sad you are, right? But you're used to having me every single day, right? And so, how do you love yourself? Can you love your mistakes? I feel like this is a mistake that I made. I feel like taking this job kind of like is a mistake, right? So my work-life balance was on, but I was trying to figure out, you know, some new stuff and everything. And I feel like I made a mistake because I got involved in something that I can't just quit and walk away from, right? It's really thrown off my work-life balance. And so what do I have to do in that space? I have to go in and nurture myself. I have to nurture myself when I feel like I'm not a good enough mom. I have to nurture myself whenever I'm tired as fuck from trying to keep up from the beginning of the week. I have to nurture myself for not really getting any time to like sleep in or like take it easy right now, right? You have to nurture your mistakes until you're okay with them. Like right now, I don't feel like I'm a terrible mom. I don't feel like I made a bad choice. Is it hard? Yeah. But it's also steps toward my goals that are in my heart, right? So if you don't really understand alignment, then a lot of people don't really understand what that means. You know, teaching massage brought me back to life from a place where it was just kind of getting like monotonous, right? So for that, I appreciate teaching massage has really humbled me. You know, I had to learn all kind of stuff about online and all kind of stuff. Now, if you would have talked to me yesterday about this, I was ready to throw the whole computer in the river. Today, I'm a little bit better. I nurtured my information technology issues, right? But you have to nurture these feelings as they come to you, right? And so what does that mean, right? So when something in you is off, right? I'm not saying like, say I have to leave work or I have to leave the dinner or whatever. Somehow, you know, by tonight or tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, take some time to sit with yourself about what didn't feel good, right? About what wasn't really feeling that great to you. Like our feelings are incredible once we start working with them, right? That's that womb space. And that's why I say about the womb space, because a lot of people say, oh, follow your gut. Well, you follow your gut if you're not all fucked up with fear, right? But if you're all fucked up with fear, don't follow your gut because your gut is just trying to keep you safe, right? So it all depends on where you are with all of this. To me, I think self-love is the perfect balance of selfless and selfish, right? I think when you're in self-love, you're like, oh, okay, this thing is calling for me to be selfless right now. I have to go in and I have to give myself, right? Oh, this thing is requiring me to be selfish right now because we're done with that, right? There are many lesson forms in self-love. There are many ways to love yourself. Sometimes we go through things and we forget about ourselves. And I think that goes for most of us. That's okay, guys. Things get busy. If you're busy and you feel like you have been forgetting about yourself lately, it's okay to step away and take some time away. Be still, you know, come into your heart. What does my heart want to do? How can my heart get through this? Like, how do I quit forgetting about myself? How do I quit putting myself last, right? Because a lot of people have been programmed to be selfless for so long. Like, help everybody. You know, that's how I was raised. My mom is like a really big helper. She helps everybody. And so that's how I was raised. But, you know, I learned early in the game that, like, how does she do this? Like, how does she have all this energy? Well, she puts herself last. And so, you know, my mom's amazing. She's one of the most amazing people ever in my life. And she's tired a lot. And why is that? Because she puts herself last. And I caught myself, especially at the beginning of my journey, always putting myself last. And so that's been one of the major things. Oh, it's 3:11. That's been one of the major things that I have been working on, is finding that balance between selfless and selfish, because I didn't have very much selfishness in me. And I really needed to find that. some people might need to find a little bit of selflessness. That's okay, right? Personal forgiveness. Forgiveness is huge, right? We are our worst critics. We are our worst judges. We are terrible to us, our own selves. And I'm only telling you this for what I've been through, right? Redemption happens in the heart, right? And what is that? Saved from sin, error, evil, right? All of that happens in your heart, right? And so it's forgiving yourself personally for the mistakes you made. That's one of the hardest parts, right? Like, especially like this thing that's going on with my job and knocking my daughter off with her spelling words and her school and her sleep and her comfortability, and all that stuff. I really had to tune back into my heart and really have a real conversation with my daughter, because I was really feeling like I was messing up, but I really wanted to have like some understanding. And so it's kind of cool, because kids are really cool. Because as soon as I told her, I know this schedule is hard and everything like that, but mommy really loves what she does. Her little smile and her little heart, you could tell that she really understood. And so that moment and that conversation really helped me to go back into my heart and kind of, forgive myself for the mistake that I've made. I know breaking these patterns is tough, but what is beautiful to you? That's why you do it. What makes you feel sentimental? What needs your acceptance in your life? What do you have in your life that just needs your acceptance? People say, oh, Sarah, you would never understand. Oh, I get it. I'm real life as they come. Your heart is a clarifier. What are loving ideas that you have? Sometimes you get loving ideas from not so loving moments, right? Always think up. What do you like about you? What would it take for self-love to be an honoring process to you rather than a defiance? Most people wait till they're all the way beat up to love themselves. When I wake up in the morning and I go take a shower and I put my oil on, that's self-love to me. When I'm in the shower and I'm washing my hair and I'm cleaning off the energy. When I come down here and I make my toast and, when I keep peace in my life and I don't look at the phone until I get ready to leave, those are all things that mean a lot to me. What means something to you? I don't like to wake up and get to rushing around, There's a lot of personal forgiveness going on around here. And it's funny because I'll talk to somebody who's like in that victim mentality, right? And they're thinking, well, like, they need to apologize and blah, blah, blah. And then once we get down the road with it, I'm like, so do you see where you need to apologize to yourself for letting that fuck shit happen? They're like, yes. I mean, I only recognize it because I did too, right? All right. So have you ever forgiven somebody and not really felt complete in that? Like it didn't feel like solid? Make a list. Make a list of people maybe that you're holding grudges against, or, you feel like they did you dirty or whatever, right? Make a list. Get to the end of your list. Now, what can happen if you forgive yourself for loving people who weren't capable of loving you back? Ooh, we need the bell. That's taking responsibility. I used to call that, I'll take the blame, blame me, just blame me. It was responsibility that I was taking. It's okay, guys. Not everybody is capable of loving us back. Sometimes we give too much. Sometimes we don't give enough, right? But a lot of people really need to forgive themselves for loving people that weren't capable of loving them. And that's where a lot of the anger comes out. That's where a lot of it, I mean, trust me, man. My personal path has been showing me some shits. But every misstep is followed up by self-examination, right? So when you're out here misstepping in the world and it's fucking with your life, right? You self-examine, you self-evaluate, you look at yourself like, what am I doing here? How did I let it get this far, right? Worry. There's a lot of worry. There's a lot of people seeing the desperate and the destitute and the news and the systems and the food and the schools and the air and the fucking you name it, right? There's a lot of worry going on in the heart. And worry is a low frequency. But don't get it confused because it's a strong energy. It's a low frequency, but it's a strong energy. A lot of people are worrying, how am I going to make it? How am I going to afford it? How am I going to do it? How's it going to work out? We're the creators of our experience. You create it. So if you spend more time in worry, you're probably going to get that. If you release that dense energy by nurturing that dense energy until it releases from you so you can create your life, then you can come up out of the worry and go into faith, abundance, right? Trust. You know, I did a big thing last night where I rebuked the worry energy that's in everybody. I know so many people have it. I know sometimes it comes here. And it's a terrible energy. So when I rebuke something, I don't just leave it. When I rebuke something, I fill that space with love. That's what I did last night. You know, a lot of people are worried about their finances, poverty, lack, right? And I'm speaking abundance. Our words are our servants, right? So a lot of these programs of worry, a lot of this not being able to forgive yourself, those all come from the programs, from our words, from the words that we say when we meet up with our friends, from the words that we say when we are feeling bad, feeling worried, right? So pay attention to your words. We gain strength and resources through adversity and hardship. It's not easy out here. It's definitely not easy. You know, releasing these things at a cellular level is not easy, right? Trusting again when you've been hurt so bad is not easy. Going into abundance from a deep worry is not easy. I'm not here ever saying that it's easy, but there are things that do help make it easier for you. And a lot of the really great people are out here pumping this information for the free, right? Appreciation, gratitude, thank you. Thank you for the blessings. Thank you for the understanding. Thank you for the expression. Thank you for the people. Thank you for the places. Thank you for the things. Thank you and appreciation and gratitude really will help you through this self-love internal investigation, right? Imagine no longer being dependent on possessions or status. Life doesn't have to be difficult. That's a program. That's out of alignment. Worry is out of alignment with love. Stress, disease is out of alignment with love. Fear is out of alignment with love. Punishing yourself is out of alignment with love. Imagine having time to create what you want, what you want in your heart. Okay? So you imagine having time, because a lot of us are really busy, so people say, "Oh, I don't have time for that right now." Okay, I get it. Imagine having time, right? And then you have to go even one step after imagine having time, create some, right? So when you would normally get a babysitter and go do this, get a babysitter and do what you love, right? Get involved with what you love. If you would normally, come home from work, get a shower and go to bed, stay up for an extra 20 minutes and roll around in what you love. Tinker with what you love, write what you love, right? Watch what you love, see what you love. Love is being offered, fam. Every day. Every now moment, it's being offered. And it's just whatever vibration you're in. So if I'm in the vibration of worry, fear, poverty, lack, disappointment, I don't trust any fucking buddy, right? And I go take a walk. Somebody could steal my purse. Somebody could rob my house. Somebody could do all this stuff, right? Or I could get my vibe right, go on a walk, meet the love of my life, a partnership, get a free boba. You fucking name it, right? It's all on the vibration that you vibrate. Spiritual attacks have been heavy lately. That's actually why I got this little thing. I was always about the good news, right? I didn't want to talk about the demons. I didn't want to talk about the spiritual attacks. I didn't want to talk about any of that. Spiritual attacks really are at an all-time high, and it's crazy because it's coming to people, me, I don't know. I always kind of had that energy that people came and like bumped up against, right? So I was like, meh, that's like part of my life sometimes, right? But when I hear the ones that I think are like the sweetest souls on earth and they're being attacked, that lets me know that it's like a whole different level, right? So I just talked to a great girl last night and she's going through a lot of stuff, just like all of us. And, my guidance for her was to stay protected. And it hurt my heart so much because I'm thinking like, wow, man, like they're even hurting like just like the really good, innocent, sweet souls, right? And so the spiritual protection, the spiritual attacks, the assaults that are going on, guys, it's vibrational, right? And so what does that mean? All right, so look, here's me. It's a Wednesday, no makeup on. I'm in my house. I just want to be comfy. I want to take a nap. I have this message I have to pump. I have massages I have to do later, right? So what happens is people get jealous and envious, right? They look at my life. They see me online. They see me home. They see me taking trips. They see me doing all this stuff, and my life shouldn't be that easy, right? So this jealousy, envy thing comes in because maybe they're not there yet, right? Not realizing that if they called me, I would try to help them with anything to get there, right? So what happens is that person goes off, and they're mad, and they're talking shit on you, and they're saying all kind of shit, and every time they bring your name up, it's always some shit, and 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 some shit, right? That's a spiritual attack. Because their words, right, are creating an attack on your energy. And so it really is good to stay protected up. I've been getting some pretty deep, serious messages about gridding up my house again. I did it when the coronavirus started, and I felt guided to go get some more crystals and stuff to grid my house and get my bell. A lot of people lay low and they're still going through it. And so for those of us that come out here online and stuff like that, however you keep yourself protected in this spiritual battle that's going on between the love and the fear, do that. Because just the words that people are saying sometimes, it's enough to throw your energy off, right? but you have everything in you to keep that shit up off you, right? You have all the power. Love is being offered every now moment, right? And so what happens is people are being so thinky, right? They're thinking about everything that they're not catching it, right? So if you're thinking about the past, if you're worried about the future, and you're not in the now, it's in the now moment where the love is being offered, right? And so if you're being thinky and you're not really there or present in the now moment, you're not going to get it. You know, a lot of our souls right now are reaching away from the roots of the past, right? We don't want to be stuck in those roots anymore. We don't want to be those same things. I mean, ever since I was a little kid, my soul was like, no, like, this is not going to be your life. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, I didn't really understand like what was happening. Your soul is reaching away from the programs of your roots, right? Trying to break free from them programs so it can actually do what it came here to do. Your soul didn't come here to mimic your family, to mimic the fears and the pains and the hurts and everything that you've been through. Your soul came here to do what it wants to do what it needs to do here. Tangible results. I try to tell everybody, I write this all down. I have notebook on notebook on notebook on notebook on notebook on notebook on notebook about tangible results. Write it down. Everybody's different. See how you got to that, right? Because that has to mean something for you. I've been trying to figure out how I got tangible results this whole time, really. And I don't really know. I have them. For sure. You know what I mean? My life is exactly like what I'm trying to create. And like, even in being exactly what I'm trying to create, I still notice some places that I need to fine tune and switch. You know, I just told you guys, my work-life balance is completely off, right? From a job that I took that's 16 hours a week. How in the fuck can 16 hours a week throw your whole entire work-life balance off? It is though, right? Because it's all day Sunday, her last day of school, Monday night, Tuesday night, so I don't see her all day Monday, all day Tuesday. And then by Wednesday, she's shitty and crabby, and she feels like I left her out. So from there, I want to change things, right? And I want to honor everyone in the process. And how do you do that? You have to work with yourself, in yourself, right? From the vision. You know, I have this vision in my mind, and it's so funny because in my vision never was a part about teaching the body, right? And then this massage job, this massage teaching job really brought me back to life. And so you're like, oh, wow, something new to like spark up your heart. Like, I didn't even know how much I love this in my heart until I was actually doing it, right? And that's the thing. Like, a lot of people maybe wouldn't have taken it or whatever, because they're being blocked off. They're blocked off from everything. You know, so from the vision to the experience of what you're trying to create, that's a journey, right? The moment you get the vision, the journey starts. And then what do you do with the vision? Do you write about it? Do you sing about it? Do you try to clear out the old stuff that's keeping it away from you? Do you try to invite in the new stuff that maybe you're not really so familiar with, right? It's a journey. Everything is a journey. Being a parent is a journey. Being a sister is a journey. You know, one of my friends just called me the other day. We've been friends for 18 years. He's the one that taught me about sacred sex. It's a journey. It's a journey. You know, we were intimate at one time. And I just upped and moved. He's like, where are you at? I moved. What do you mean? Where to? Florida. He's like, oh, okay. Still one of my best friends today, because relationships and friendships and people, and it's a journey. I had to move away to shake everything all up. It wasn't anything I knew how to explain to him or anybody, even though he always was a good friend to me, always was there for me. He would encourage me and probably give me some good ideas. But I wasn't really good with communication back then. What would support you the most right now in your reality? That's where I say get real. Get into the root and get real. What would support you the most right now in your reality? Imagine it coming to you. Ask for it. Imagine it coming to your door, to your house, to your dad's house, in your mailbox, in your car, whatever. Because that's how it works. Hello, beautiful. But a lot of people, 333, they're so used to struggling and life being difficult that they think it's supposed to be difficult, and so then they don't even ask. Ask for help. You know, others do influence you vibrationally. Guaranteed. Even if you aren't even, the news, like say, right? So everybody's on this whole collapse of the government or whatever the fuck they're saying. I think that's just my hopeful words. Only you can choose to receive the love that's being offered to you in the now moments, right? So somebody influences you in your vibration, right? Okay, yeah, it happens every day, every second, every time, right? But only you can choose to change your frequency and receive the love being offered in the now moment, or stay influenced by that person and walking around. So you say you're in your lane, but you're influenced by somebody else. So like you're kind of in your lane and in their lane. Show appreciation for strength, for courage, for time, for guidance, for feelings, for roots, for inspiration. We're protecting and defending our visions. But now's a beautiful time, because I'm seeing a lot of people start to talk about it in a more loving way, right? Talk about it in a more sure way. We're learning to stand our ground about our visions. We're learning, standing our ground, we're learning to make boundaries. Like, that's not where I saw my vision going now. We're learning to deal with the challenges that come up, right? So in my quest to be a bazillionaire, challenges come up, right? And so I have to deal with them when they come up. I just wrote a big piece the other day about, when you have multiple strings of income and you get a snag. What do you do with that? That snags up all your streams, right? Well, if I'm going to be a bazillionaire, I have to really learn how to work that out, not get so frustrated, not let it take me out of my place, not let it really truly influence who I am, right? I have to handle it. I have to take some time alone. I have to step away. I have to do whatever I have to do to get this crazy train back rolling. I used to like to ignore stuff like that until it was all my responsibility, till I realized it was all my responsibility. It's my responsibility to fix these snags so my whole thing rolls smoother. We're learning how to strengthen the resolve. So a lot of people right now, and I'm loving it, because people used to call me about problems all the time and they would drive me crazy because they weren't really looking for solutions, right? I'm big solution oriented. So if I'm having a problem, I would like to find a solution so I can change my problem, right? So what that is that's dealing with the challenges that are on your plate, right? And so that's what I said. You can push the challenges off. You can push them away for the next 10 years, right? But they're still going to always come back. It's whenever you make the time to say, all right, let's deal with these challenges. I'm ready. A lot of us are releasing some really old anxiety. That's a program. Anxious. Anxious of what? What are you anxious about? Depression is when you're thinking about the past. Anxious is when you're thinking about the future, right? So releasing anxiety is more or less being in the now. Not really worrying so much about the future and the 401k plan and the what are we going to do when the banks don't work and the money don't work and the everything don't work, right? We have to be right now. Stop fighting for the wrong causes out here, guys. I see a lot of people fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, and they're not getting anywhere. What do you love? What do you love, and how can you come together, you know, to bring people together to help you fight for that cause, right? We're walking away from a lot of confrontations lately. I know that. Hey, babes. Right now is a very expressive time, and I think a lot of people are learning different ways to express themselves. Because there are many ways. There are many ways. And a lot of this old vibrational patterns, they need to be expressed out. They need to be expressed to be nurtured. They need to be nurtured and expressed, right? Expressed through nurturing expression, right? We're mending. We're releasing. We're relaxing. This is really what's going on. You can feel upside down right now. You can feel really strong right now. This Aries energy comes in and it's really strong for me. Clearing an attachment is that way. And we're doing that for true companionship. A true companionship with ourself, first off, right? So we are clearing the old to make room for the new, detaching from what we want so much with our heart so we can just let it fly in, right? And that is true companionship with yourself. And when you have true companionship with yourself, you're going to attract true companionship too. Whether that's in your friends, whether that's in your work, whether that's in some, you know, free boba down the street, whatever that is for you. We're clearing the old. We have to detach. I remember my knee, right? So when I met my healer, I went to go see him and he had all kind of lectures, right? And so I went to his lectures and this person's talking about the cancer was healed and the tumor was healed and the ligament was healed and all these things, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm getting pissed, right? I was triggered. I'm like, why the fuck are all these people healing? I'm the youngest one in here, right? So I went up to him afterwards and I'm like, yo, like, you can heal all these things. Like, what about my knee? My knee doesn't even seem like a big deal anymore now that I heard all this, right? He's like, Sarah, I need you to stop thinking about it. Okay. Stop thinking about the knee that hurts constantly every single time I walk, every single time I even think about it, right? Oh, yeah, that would be fine. And how would you suggest that I do that? He's like, well, I don't know. Maybe try another job. I'm like, I can't try another job. I've been a barber my whole fucking life. There's no other job for a barber. That's where I was, right? And I love the universe because me and my girlfriend went out to eat. I met a guy, sell steel. I ended up selling steel. 3 months later, my knee was healed. Detachment. Instead of sitting there and oh my gosh, you know, I wish I would get $200 to pay this gas bill. I wish I would get $200 to pay this gas bill. just be open to unlimited possibilities, right? Because the more that, the more that I sat and thought, like, I need my knee to heal, I have a bunch of shit I have to do, it wasn't healing. It was like the minute that I flipped my brain to something else and really did forget about that, it really did work. So I was feeling this message. Every relationship is eternal. So every relationship that we have is forever. Whether the person passed away, whether the person moved away, whether you don't have them or talk to them anymore, right? So we were talking earlier about like forgiving yourself for loving somebody who maybe couldn't love you back, right? Sometimes that's our girlfriend, sometimes that's our relationships, right? But one thing I know is that every relationship is eternal, like forever, right? So, true companionship, the true companionship I was talking about, like inside yourself, is giving someone your complete presence, because that's an astonishing gift, right? So we all want this true companionship from other people, right? But we don't do that for ourselves. So if I can't give me my complete presence, if I don't know how to do that, how can I do that for somebody else? If somebody else doesn't know how to give themselves their complete presence, how can they do that for you? It's deep. And I think that that is what a lot of people are really searching and seeking out here, is true companionship. But it's within you. It's inside of you. Even if you get what you think is that true companionship outside of you, and that companionship inside of you isn't right, something's going to happen to that. Sometimes you work it out together. Spend quality time with yourself, guys. That's what I'm getting to. Spend quality time with yourself. Spend quality time with your visions. Spend quality time with your heart's desires. Spend quality time with the people that you love, right? Do more of what you love. Try to step back sometimes when you're going through a really hard time and really look at the whole situation. Worry about yourself. Worry about what you're creating. Stay in your lane. Think about yourself. Create a true companionship with yourself. That's what self-love is to me. True companionship with myself. I don't know. I love you guys because we're all connected, man. I know that with the new moon and spring, there's a lot of changes going on. New moon, spring, Aries. It's going down in the name of love. Do what you love. Do what you love. Tune into what you love. What do you love? What do you want to do? What do you want to create in your life? What do you want to leave for your kids? It's really up to us. You can be anything you want in this life. But it does take work. It does take a true getting to know yourself. You really have to get to know yourself. You really have to get to know what is dense inside of you that you need to release. Where does that come from? Where have you seen that before? What have you seen that affect before? When I talk about the doo-doo, it's deep. And it's personal to you. Not, we have very similar doo-doos, but they're all different. I don't know. How you living? How you loving your life? Did you have a misstep? Did it lead to a self-examination? What did you find there? Did you love somebody who couldn't love you back? How do you nurture yourself from there? Not everybody can, when I say that the doo-doo is deep, it's deep. And as much as people want love and say they want love and want these things and want to be millionaires and say they want to be millionaires, a lot of people don't want to take the responsibility that comes with those things. They want to be in love, they want to have husbands, but they don't want to open up to anybody. They want to be millionaires, but they don't want to do any of the work. They want to travel the world, but they're afraid to get on planes. Hi there. They want best friends, but they're not great friends. My husband does. Your husband does what, love? You're sorry that's my experience. I don't know what you're talking about, mama. I'm talking about self-love. We sure are in this together. We sure are. And the doo-doo, I call it the doo-doo. It's just dense energy. So do I. Your husband changes worlds. So do I. Love that. I love that. Self-love is a reflection. Yeah, steady. Steady, definitely. And the world is always reflecting to you to show you how much you truly love yourself, right? So it's funny because I can meet somebody and they could be like, oh my gosh, I met this guy last night and he totally didn't love himself. And I'm like, how do you know? Because he came like this and this and this and this and this. I'm like, how did you even notice all of that? Well, I don't know. I just knew that he didn't love himself. Well, I think that was a reflection of your self-love. I mean, people don't really like me all the time, right? Let's do it. We are doing it, love. We're doing it. As each person falls in love with themselves, the world is changing. That's the vibration that they carry out there. They have that true companionship within themselves, and so then they meet true companions. They meet true companions at work. They make true companions in their family. They make true friends. They make true lovers, right? I love you, girl. I love you, girl. We were talking about the third eye and the visions and how to ground your visions in, your heart's desires in and get tangible results in that, right? And I wish so bad that there was this surefire one way, no flaws. It's always going to work, right? It's just not like that because energy is so crazy. If you want to know more about it, look into the laws of the universe, right? The natural laws. That'll help you a lot. Because simultaneously for each thing going on, there's 13 things that play into all of that, and you really need to learn and get an understanding. Learn about your body. Learn about how your body operates. A lot of people are sitting there sick, wishing for a true companion. I mean, really? Not saying that you can't be sick and want a true companion, but if you don't even have the want to get you better, nobody's out there let me see who needs me to get them up out of their deathbed today. You got to love yourself enough and be dedicated to yourself enough to say, I don't want to be sick. When my knee hurt, I didn't want anyone. And really up until just recently, I didn't really think relationships or anything of that was for me because I was hurting. I didn't feel cute, sexy, none of that. And then it's crazy. Go ahead and heal. Woo! All right, guys. Does anybody have anything they need or they want to say? I love you guys. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the third eye, the sacred observer, the sacred seer, energy, frequency, vibration, stretching, moving. You know, we really need to release this energy, right? So it's crying, it's sweating, it's sleeping, you know, bursts of energy, needing to go to the bathroom, throw up, take a fast, whatever. We have to release this low vibrational energy that is in us. And it's a bitch. And you don't always feel the greatest, and you don't always look the greatest, and you can't always be there for everybody else, right? But we need to spend time doing that. We need to become a true companion to ourselves. Like, when we need nurturing, we need to be aware that we need that nurturing. I needed a day off, so I had to be aware. I had to make the call and say, hey, listen, I scheduled you today before I was too busy, and I was too busy, and I just really need a break. And they were totally cool. Sure, can we reschedule in 2 days? Sure, thank you. We have to really love ourselves better. There are a lot of people out here wishing for love. I hear it all the time. I hear it from so many people. I can't tell you how many of my videos said I am not a relationship coach, like far from it, right? The true companionship is with yourself. You know, each relationship, each chakra is in a relationship, and they all meet together in the heart. You know, understand that, and you'll understand true companionship with yourself. You know, if you're out here being selfless, you're not a true companion for yourself. Because when you're a true companion for yourself, you know, you have a balance of selfish and selfless. Sometimes you do have to be selfish. Sometimes you do have to make a boundary. I don't know. I don't know. My life is very different than how it used to be. And that's why I talk about this stuff that I do, because I was in a bad spot, guys. My body hurt. My mind was a mess. You know, and through the process of doing all these weird things and healing myself, I've changed. I've changed my mind. You know, I know what I love in my heart. I know what I want to create in this world. I'm learning better boundaries. I'm learning how to express myself better. I'm learning how to nurture and forgive myself better every time. Every time. So if something comes up that's like something normal that you deal with and it's coming up again, it's just because you need it again. You need it at a different level. Because we're leveling up. When I get new things, I'm like, you asked for it, Sarah. You set the bar pretty high here on this manifestation gig. We're creating. I mean, you're going to be creating whether you like it or not, right? So you're either creating consciously or you're creating subconsciously. And so what I'm trying to help people with is to realize how their subconscious mind, the fears, the worry, the old patterns, that's running their experience, right? And so their souls are wanting to reach up out of that pattern and really live. And the human kind of holds the soul back sometimes when you're doing that. When you stay in those old patterns because you think you're supposed to. All right, well, I love you guys because we're all connected. Happy Wednesday. Happy third eye. Get your sacred seer on. You know, go today. Take some time. Close your eyes. Picture what you love in your heart. Feel that. Let yourself feel that. Ask, how do I ground this in? How do I nurture this to make it real? I love you guys because we're all connected. One love.